That's like when they tell you, like, oh, a fucking bottle or fucking a thing of, what's the juice company's Dole or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, Juicy Juice.
Yeah, a thing of Dole apple juice is actually worse than a thing of soda. And you're like, I don't care. The level of yummy in my tummy that thing of apple juice gives me, I'll take it. Whatever the diabetes is, whatever the Dude, that's the hardest part. So I'm currently trying not to be a disgusting fat fuck. Because I stood on the scale the other day and it was 20 pounds heavier than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, dear.
And that was rough. And so I really need to get my shit together. And when you're in the middle of when you're a guy trying to get your shit together and you've been aggressively addicted to food your whole life, it's very closely associated to what gives you happiness and all that stuff. It's a lot to go through, and you really identify like how much of it just makes you feel like a happy little boy. Like, I get it. A glass of orange juice is like fucking 3 Mountain Dews, but there's no happier moment in my life when I'm sitting down with a breakfast sandwich and an apple and an orange juice, and I just feel happier than a pig in shit.
It's probably better than that purple stuff.
No.
I just think I was picturing our conversation we're having about the politics and everything like that.
While sipping juice.
I was just thinking of that. We were just like, I just think the dichotomy of exactly. Come on, Stanley.
Damn
you
it,
fucking
Stanley.
Animal piece of shit.
You fucking just doing what a cat would do in this situation?
You jump up in the worst way. Like, how are you so cautious every other time from this angle?
He's been parkouring. No, to be fair, actually, I'm trying to defend him. But he's been parkouring me every guy. I literally said, you know what's annoying about
that? He did that last time.
Did you watch me? I had my shit over here.
Yeah.
And I know Stanley likes to parkour me.
Right.
So I moved everything over here so he could have parkour room.
Yeah.
And he just goes like, nah, I'm going to do it in the biggest dickhead way possible.
But I was just thinking of you just being like, and I just don't understand the dichotomy of everything. And I just think that we just need a discourse between all the parties because, honestly, these Zionist pigs are ruining the country.
You're like, Pat.
I really wanted there to be a...
Yeah, I wanted it. I know what you were going for. And I'd be...
I haven't drank enough juice yet. So if you ever get mad at any of our beliefs or our thoughts, just remember the stolen juice boxes from my last Instacart order.
Those are not stolen juice boxes. Those juice boxes were bestowed upon you.
They were earned.
Dude, you hit a lick on the Instacart shit.
I gotta tell you,
brother. Pat had a whole ass order. I mean, it was some of the stuff. It was question.
The turkey ham.
Yeah, it was the turkey. And there's something about, dude, when you're selling, I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of capitalism, but up until a point.
Yeah.
There's a point where you go like, okay, that's enough capitalism.
We need some regulations here.
That's enough capitalism. Well, not that. But that's enough capitalism where it's like you're like, okay, we're pumping out this shit. It's becoming more efficient. And we have turkey ham that's 30% water. And it's like, it's just in the most unappealing packaging. And you're like, oh, yeah. That's what I love. That's what I love in a good a good sandwich with some nice lunch meat. When I see that with all the fixings and like a nice thing of potato chips
Tomatoes,
on the side,
cheese, lettuce.
I go, when I bite into that sandwich, oh, that better be wet.
Yeah.
With water. That better be water wet.
Juicy.
No, not juicy with flavor.
No.
Just literally wet.
Yeah.
Just soaked.
Damn.
I want my turkey sandwich to be soaked.
Yeah. Andy, I know that you're having a little fun here. You're being a little goofball. But if you look at competitive, there it is. That's the sound we needed. Foley artist Andy.
Here's the thing, though. You know what? I was saying before.
In retrospect, after my juice box, I've had some time to reflect.
Well, here's the thing. No, it's literally it's that one speech from Family Guy where Peter's like, "Hey, man, I like me."
Yeah.
And like that's how I feel. Where I always think about all. I was saying before, where it's like there's a part of me that wants. Before we started recording. There's a part of me that wants to be a funny comedian, and there's a part of me that wants to be like informed and knowledgeable about the state of the world. And those are conflicting people at a lot of times. All right, you get a pass, fucko. Those are conflicting beings at a part. But then at the same time, I realize, I go, that's just because I'm worried what random strangers I've created in my head worry about me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I like to be a guy who's funny, knows things, and then will just, without question, slurp a juice box.
Yeah, they're very nummy. I forgot the point I was going to make.
I'm so sorry, because, yeah, I get mad when you do that to me, so I did it directly to
It's
you.
okay, I forgot. Oh, no, you were being a goofball.
Goofball, yeah.
Saying that, damn it, what were you just saying? What were you being a goofball about? God damn it.
Luigi Mangione got the wrong target.
No. It was... Damn it.
I was talking about wet sandwiches.
Oh, no, but when you're watching... Thank you very much. When you're watching the... That's how we get back, guys. Watch competitive eaters. What are they dipping their food in?
Yeah, but...
What are they dipping their food in, Andy? Please answer.
This is a loaded question.
Your Honor?
Yeah, but your answer doesn't
Your witness is being hostile.
What if Stanley just jumped on me and was like, answer the question?
He's like, I'm back.
They dip it in water, Pat.
Exactly. So
and why
now
is that? Why
the
is
turkey
that?
ham-
Why is that? Why is that?
Because it's the best.
No. Yes, that's what the best. Whenever I go to a hot dog stand, I go to the ketchup and mustard. I go, where's the bucket of water?
Where's your bucket? Where's your water
Where's
bucket?
your water bucket?
Yeah. Thank you.
No, it's so they can slide it down their fucking gullet.
The turkey ham
That's what
has-
I hate about. That's what I hate about eating competitions. Is they take away the joy of eating through eating. What did you say?
That's the only thing he hates, buddy.
Doesn't look like he hates them that much.
That must be the only thing.
Dude, I hate every fucking podcast I do. The way I sit, my gut is so
Brother,
fucking round and
Look at
visible.
me. I got my side profile. I look like a 6.
I don't care about you.
And I'm not saying the level 6. I look like the number 6 to some people.
All right. No, I just keep fucking Gay-Blind Mike keeps sending me panties clips, and I go, how's that guy still that fat?
Can you just make my dick bigger?
Dude, I got some good intel. You weren't here on the last panties. You were sick or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was talking about my Bass Pro Shop hat, and then there was a lot of disinfo about it possibly being like akin to a left earring.
Oh, no.
So I got worried because I bought this being like
Isn't
this.
that crazy? I knew exactly what you were talking about.
I mean, that's pretty well known. The
I didn't know-
earring in the left ear is pretty well known.
And that's not like an urban legend. That's a thing.
Well, here,
Like-
let me
sorry,
explain.
sorry.
Let me explain.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I got this. I went to the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid, which is honky mecca. It
Yeah.
was so fucking beautiful, brother.
There's just a bunch of like rednecks like walking around in
Brother.
or in like some in jazzy scooters like they do in the Muslim guys where they just go
going
a
up-
circle pit around
just
it.
driving around a giant stuffed bear. Dude, yo, we might need to hit up some Bass Pro Shops because many of the shirts in there had a tag on them that said loose fit. Like, they know the big boys are rolling in.
They know, yeah, we're hunting for food, but we don't need it.
We're fighting for additional food.
Yeah. Is that where you got that Subs Cum shirt?
No, this came from...
I didn't know you're a fan of Subs Cum so
This was actually from doing gay stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm...
Were you the sub, or is it your
like
is it your cum, or is it you were just a fan of
it's a
your
suburban-
subs cum?
Suburban Scum shirt.
You like subs?
Did I
cum.
show you my favorite part about this shirt? Is on the back. It just says 0 tolerance.
Watch out! He's gonna steal your seat. Watch! Oh,
So just if people, I love thinking about people seeing that and having, because no, most people don't know who Suburban Scum is.
We are the people that visually
Look like people who have 0 tolerance.
during the punch Nazi era, we would have been punched.
Yeah.
And it would have been like, hey.
Yeah.
I was listening to urban music at the time.
That's what I was happy about with Trump getting to office, because I think a lot of those people are considered hella gay now. So, because that would always be the thing. They'd be like punch Nazis, but then you guys consider every single fucking person that disagrees with you a Nazi.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're using subjective Nazism as opposed to like somebody that's like, because they like look. There's people that heil. There was people that are like doing the SS thing. They got the flags. They got the armbands. They got all that shit. You can punch them.
They're fashion forward.
But like, if it's just a dude that looks like us, like, come on, like literally, please don't judge a book by its cover, please.
Please read the book.
You know when
I
you
know
see-
it's hard, but read the book.
You know when you see purple hair in the audience and you're like, oh no.
No,
I don't like go oh no, but I just go like, you're probably not gonna love everything I say.
Dude, you know what's funny? I've been noticing on, just on sheer, because I think if like most purple-haired people if me and them started talking about the issues, they'd be like, "Oh, I probably disagree with you." But on surface level, I get along with those people very
All the time.
well.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I went to a show. I did a show in Jersey. It was like a purple-haired girl, and she had like a purple-haired white girl with like a black lesbian girlfriend.
Oh.
They both laughed at me the most during my set.
Laughed at you or with you, Andy?
Hopefully with me. But no, I was doing weird shit because the crowd sucked. So
Yeah.
a lot of times when the crowd sucks, I either lean into my weirder shit.
Yeah.
Because there's like, say if I'm doing a 10-minute set and I haven't gotten you by 5 minutes, I more just give up, depending on the show. If it's like a big show I'm getting paid for,
Yeah.
I don't give up.
Yeah, I'll try the whole time.
But if it's like a shitty like coffee house or bar show and like it's been half my set and you guys still don't get me, I'm fine with that.
but it's an open mic now.
What?
But it's an open mic now.
Yeah. So I just lean into it, or I just try worse shit. And the crowd sucked, so I was doing that. And dude, I'm telling you, the interracial lesbian couple liked me the most. And I think there's something about me where it's like a lot of people are like, no, we love the aesthetic and the vibe. They just probably don't agree about the politics.
Yeah, we're happy to see you go up there and not like rail against, like, we're not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't rail against anything.
Well, my thing is, like, at my core, I'm always like, I come from like
here
liberal pussy. I come from
from here. That's what I do right before sex. I go, I come from here. And my wife goes, and I go, I did good.
I put it there.
I get a sticker now.
No, my stock is liberal pussy. So like I align with a lot of that in sentiment.
Oh, no.
So that's why I think not a liberal's vagina.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was like.
Pussy liberals.
I thought that was like your Bitcoin. This is what I invest in, liberal pussy. And I got to tell you, it's spiking right now.
That's my fucking Bitcoin. We're in the dip. Buy pussy liberal.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I can come from liberal pussies. I'm telling you.
Actually, that was going to be a side conversation on a side conversation. No, sometimes I do get very attracted to annoying feministy girls because I just like, you just haven't had a stirred talking to. But that's just my that's my weird sex stuff. Anyway.
We're not here to analyze my search history. We're here to talk about.
We're not here to analyze why I love a very straight bang cut.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about that.
When I see the straight bangs and some yellow and some fucking purple hair, I go, you just need a good man in your life.
You look like you cut your own hair and listen to the same music I do.
I'll eat your own pussy. Yeah, no, because I think, my stock is pussy liberal.
Mm-hmm.
I just think over time I've learned about other ways of thinking, and I go, like, that's why I got drawn to the libertarian shit because from a problem-solving standpoint, I think they're right, but my core values still line up with pussy liberals.
Yeah.
But back to the hat. So I get the hat. It's a $6 hat. I do the test. I immediately go to the 2 buttons because I got a big fucking head. Mm-hmm. I think you're in the same boat as me, right? You got a big head? I go to the 2 buttons, put it on. Hat fits perfect. I go to do panties. I get it's Lemaire, Nate, Dave Temple. They let me know. They're like, we think it's a gay thing. So I go, well, damn. I need to go gay intel.
Did they just do the thing where they just like piled on or did they all independently? Do you think they all independently thought that beforehand?
Well, it's like
I don't think I've ever heard that.
But I think, and I say this respectfully, I think it's a black guy thing where slightly things that aren't that gay, they may view them as gayer.
Yeah, like when they're like when you wear like a certain type of underwear, they're like that's punk shit. Yeah. You're like what?
Yeah, but I do think it was based on possibly real shit.
Okay.
Because I went to go do gay intel. A friend of the show, Scott.
I was just gonna say. I was like, wait, what?
What's Scott's last name?
Scott
Steiner. I found Scott Steiner.
1% of gay people have 63%.
He's like, there's a 63% chance of him sucking my dick on a 53% chance of.
Scott Fillmore.
Scott Fillmore.
Sorry.
I'm so fucking bad with last names. I just know Big Gay Scott. And I go up to him and I ask him, I was like, is this the thing you guys get into? I literally go up to him. I go, Scott, may I ask you a gay question? and he literally goes, that's why I'm here, buddy. Hit me with it.
He is good to do that.
No, because like it feels corny, but like it's not to say like, hey, you're the representative of gay people, but it's like every group has sort of their thing, and it's fair to go to like if you don't have a lot of a certain type of friend, it's fair to go to the person and go, hey, may I please ask if this is a commonality in your community?
This what you guys do?
But basically, what Scott said is that. By the time, it's not to say this was never a like gay guy signal, but by the time straight people find out about it, he's like, we're not using those anymore. So like the left earring, the Bass Pro Shop hat, whatever it may be, he said by the time straights figure out about it, it ain't got nothing to do with the gays no mo. So it's not to say it wasn't, but I don't think I will, because I don't want to confuse any gentlemen out there. I don't want to let any of the bros think it's open for business when it's actually closed down for maintenance. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly.
Actually, I don't want to say closed down for maintenance, because closed down for maintenance implies it will open up for service at some point.
Yeah.
And I want to let you know it will not.
It will not be opening up.
It will not. Gay guys, I respect what you do, but don't do it to my butt.
I didn't know why. I don't know why. I thought at least Google would do something, but I don't see a lot. It's a thing on Reddit. Why are so many people wearing Bass Pro Shop?
You could also try sometimes a good Google is being more vague, where you could go Bass Pro Shop hats gay.
Yeah, not a question mark.
Yeah, just like make it less specific, because dude, they're actually, I think they're trying to cover up the agenda, because it immediately switched it to trendy when you did that.
Yeah, it's not.
Nah, because it's not like, I think a lot of times when you Google it, it's not taking your sentence and going like, oh, this is what he wants. It's just matching up the words and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that was just
Yeah, I think they were just fucking with
maybe
it.
that was just black guy disinfo.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I think they were for this instance. I think not gay.
Not gay.
Not gay.
So
officially.
you wanna get into some Scientology?
Yeah,
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, I got that. It's basically so Scientology is this is religious month, or at least
This is Religion Month, which is approved by my father himself, George Malfrina. I got a text, Dad, if you're still listening, thank you.
Yeah.
Normally he'll listen to my pods. He'll go, very funny. Stop cursing so much.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Hey,
and you know what I
scum.
say to that? Fuck that cunt shit.
Yeah, you can't tell me what to do anymore, Dad.
You can't what to do, Dad. You little bitch.
Yeah, no, today we're talking about Scientology, and I don't know about you, if you knew anything about this ahead of time. I grew up in St. Petersburg, around the Clearwater Largo area as well, worked a lot in that area. Spent most of my youth there, about 25 years of my life I spent in Florida.
You sure you weren't in Wisconsin?
I
What
tell
was
you
that
what.
voice?
I tried,
down in the Florida Everglades, I always spent a lot of time fucking figuring
I
it
tried
out.
as hard as I could not to have a southern accent while I was living in Florida, and I goddamn did it.
Florida is like the South, but it's not the like. There's areas of Florida that are like the South, and then there's like Cuba.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
basically Florida, right?
Essentially,
It's either Cuba or the South.
most of it is.
I'm sorry, Cuba.
Yeah, most of it is like there's plenty of illegals there, but there's also lots of like, it's like just like modern-ish people. It's kind of like like Texas and stuff like that, where like the rural-ish area. Which one's that?
Mi tienda.
English.
Durazno, peach nectar from
peach.
concentrate.
I hate peach. Peach is my.
You don't like a peach?
I'm the exact opposite of Nick Cage in Face Off. I would never eat a peach for hours.
Hey man, thanks for taking me down that walk. I liked it. I was like, where the
That's one
fuck?
of my favorite. You ever seen that movie?
No, I've seen parts of it.
He's got
Actually,
the- he's
no,
got
I just realized I have not seen it. My only reference to Face Off is that classic O&A clip.
Yeah.
Where Jim Norton, shout out Jim Norton, my lady. Jim Norton gets Patrice to actually say "Face Off sucked."
Yeah.
It's a class, but I've never seen the movie.
It's there's a scene where Nick Cage has a young girl sitting on his lap, and he's whispering inappropriate things, but trying to be flirtatious with her. And at one point, he goes, "I could eat a peach for hours."
Ew.
But he's talking about her being the peach,
Yeah.
and he could eat a peach for hours. And I'm just thinking of like, I literally thought of like, first of all,
That'd be a good movie. That'd be a good movie month, by the way.
The sound of that would be disgusting. And also the taste, because I do not like peaches.
I couldn't. Well, no, it's like we're going to get sushi later today. And I feel like peaches would be similar to sushi for me, where whenever I eat sushi, I go, "This is the best. This is the best. This is the best. Get it the fuck away."
Too much.
Dude, it's weird. It's not just like I've been full. This is one of the biggest fat guy things I've ever done. I've been full, and then I've been mad that I'm full because I can't eat anymore.
I forgot. Were you there? No, I told you about this. The last time I was at that sushi place.
And the Indian guy sucked you off?
The waiter recognized
Yeah,
me.
I was there with you.
You were there, okay,
It was
yeah.
Dave had the big thing where he was like, Dave's like, I'm going to get surgery. I'm going to go away for 4 months. And then we saw him constantly.
Yeah, and then we saw him all the time.
Because he tried to, like, guilt me into it. Because I was going to go do stuff that night. And he, like, guilt me. And he's like, I'm not going to see you for, like, 7 years.
Yeah.
And then I saw him constantly after that.
I think that meant his surgery recovery. The surgery wasn't as bad as he thought. He didn't have to have as much recovery time.
Wherever. He's a lying bald fuck. But
He's a
anyway,
lying
Scientology.
So, yeah, Scientology. We're here to talk about it. Growing up in Florida, I learned, not a lot because they are... Scientology is one of those things that, like, what I would ever suggest... We're going to talk about it today, obviously, but what I would suggest is do your own research because I feel in this case there's lots reported. There's three, in my opinion, there's three lines of thinking with Scientology. There's people that go like, it's fucking crazy. Fuck you.
Yeah.
There's people that are like formally Scientologists that are bitter and like hate it.
Yeah.
And then there's dumbasses that are in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's people. And
Well, so Scientology, from my perspective, like people will look at like any of the major religions and they'll try to compare them to cults. And there's like, yeah, there's definitely comparisons, but they figured out a happy medium in the modern religions where it's like you can just be a casual person and follow that religion. Like Scientology is one of those that is like a major religion, but it's like, no, they literally behave like a cult where it's like cutting you off from family, making you work a whole bunch for them. You send like inordinate amounts of money to them. It's like, it's not just because people always say, like Rogan has that great quote where like every religion's just a cult that fucking kept going or whatever the fuck it is, and it's like I feel like Scientology, even if that lasts for eons and shit, if they still keep the same structure, it's like no, it's still just gonna be a blatant cult.
Eons are actually what you have to say when you do confession.
You have to
7 hail eons.
You have to pay them You have to pay them $3,000 to charge up your eons.
Yeah. No, I think they are. One thing I do know though is they are quite litigious. So we're gonna stay official. We're only gonna be reading information from the Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Official, 100%
And
accurate.
Anything I say, I'm just a dumb juice box slurper. So,
But there's a lot of stuff like growing up around Scientologists. When I would drive through, there's certain parts
so
of,
you'd see them often.
but you don't until like it's almost like when you like when you buy a car or you're like car shopping, and like you don't even realize it. Like you find this car that you're like, oh my god, I've never even seen one of these before. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you get it and you see them everywhere after that.
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of thing. It's like once you know what to look for, you see them everywhere.
Do they have like an outfit or
Brother,
just a vibe?
They got outfits. They have like it's like they are.
You didn't need to say it that way. That was so funny,
brother. They have like They're like consider themselves, instead of going like the robes and the fucking scepters and the big hats. Instead of going big hats, what they did was they go fucking medals. They're like the Sea Org.
Boy Scouts.
The Sea Org is essentially they're like adult Cub Scouts almost.
Well, because every group has like their outfit. Like if you see Christians, they're usually just wearing like a nice button down, but they have that like fucking smile on them, like they're about to do a purge.
Yeah.
And then
they all have like books.
Yeah.
They all have like because they're all it's like they're studying essentially.
Yeah.
They're going to classes. They're going to with like Jehovah's Witness or with like other places like Jehovah's Witnesses or something like that, they'll do like they don't have a costume, but they have like almost like a dress code.
Don't they always wear the tie and shit?
Yeah, but it's usually like
that's a great distinction, by the way. They don't have an outfit, but they have a dress code.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they're
no do-rags, no white tees. You can't say it's just like it's like getting into a club.
Yeah, but it's also like really specific. They're also no baggy pants, no Jordans.
No, can't sag your pants. No Jordans.
But there's they'll have like your basic level, which is more like a Mormon type of fit.
Yeah.
Where they got like black slacks, a belt, all of them, and they all wear the same thing. Like there's like different options, and that's what I'm saying. They're like the Fortnite of religions. Like they have so many different styles and skins you can unlock
and that's what
as you go.
That's what they do when they get to a neighborhood. They're dropping in.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So like
they're like, where do you want to land? The Johnson house or Lucky Lair?
So Scientology was founded. I put in invented, which is really funny. That might be condescending, and I didn't mean that, Google, so please forgive me.
Well,
but I said, when was Scientology invented? But it said founded. It corrected to founded.
Yeah.
1954. September of 1954, I believe. Exactly. So
by
L. Ron Hubby.
Who is
really cool and nothing wrong with him whatsoever.
Who just happened to be the most prolific science fiction author.
Wait a minute. The guy's writing fiction?
Well, here's the thing about
professionally, Andy, is what you're saying?
Yes, and you know what he was never bothered by?
What's this?
A second draft. The second draft never got in the way of L. Ron Hubbard's
that is a thing.
Work.
Is his kind of like what he kind of retconned, like it.
Well, you know he's literally the most prolific writer in the world.
Yeah.
Which basically means he's written the most published books.
Which means he probably has a lot of bullshit out there.
Oh, yeah. It's like fucking after Tupac died and he kept pumping out songs. Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard's got a lot of shit fucking in the can that he hasn't even fucking put out. But no, it just cracks. That's like my favorite thing about Scientology. Where it's like, yeah, you know, he's written thousands of science fiction novels, but this one's real.
Yeah, no, but this is. But if you're like, hey, he's written all this fiction, why would he not say this one's fiction? I don't know, because it cost a lot of money to be a Scientologist.
That's like if my wife walked in and it's like every time she smells a huge dump from the bathroom, at a certain point I'd be like, that was the cat. And you're like, no, you're the one who takes crazy shits in the bathroom.
There's no litter box in there, Andy.
You're like,
and you're just like, but there's a litter box in the hallway. Maybe it's going in there.
It's like if she kept seeing fucking, I don't know, just like mac and cheese boxes on the counter. It's like, yeah, that's you, because you're the one who does that all the time.
But that's the other thing is they have this weird. So like like I said, growing up, what they would do is what I saw is they would buy up like real estate.
Yeah.
And then they would buy in real estate. And what you'd see a lot of times is you'd see people going into buildings in like one thing that looks like completely different storefronts, and then like they would come out of another building.
Yeah.
Like so like they were all connected. It was like weird how they had this kind of secretive thing, and they were always going somewhere, like they were students essentially.
Yeah.
So like you're meant to pay money as you go through. Like
dude, that's the thing.
The whole Thetan thing. I'm sure everybody is familiar with. And honestly, you know what I would say? I think South Park does a really good job of covering the bones of the religion.
Well, they have that was one of the best parts of that episode where they started showing all the Scientology stuff, and then halfway through they like flash on they're like, this is real. We're not
actually
kidding.
What they believe. Yes.
We're not kidding. No, the thing about Scientology because you know I'm always ready for a conspiracy. I'm always ready for a little bit extra behind the scenes. Is like I need to learn more about it because like it feels like there's. Like you just said, they buy a fucking building and then it's clearly connected to other buildings, so it's like they got tunnels or whatever. But I guess they're not the only group with tunnels.
I was like, wait a minute.
What?
I was like, wait a minute. They released this in the 22nd of August in 2006. Those are my real big fish notes.
Oh.
I pulled up the wrong notes. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, but I guess what I'm getting at is, and I wonder if you have anything on this, but like with Scientology, it feels like they do all this over the top elaborate shit, but it always just comes back to like money, just them getting money. Because I'm like, do Scientologists have a lot of influence over our government? Or maybe they're just playing the long game and they're like, we're eventually going to get influence.
I don't, well, Scientologists, so what it is, okay, so I did have up some fun fact. When you actually do Google Scientology, the website for Scientology actually comes up before the wiki. Isn't that strange?
No, I think that makes sense.
Doesn't it normally, like if you put in, I didn't put in like the Church of Scientology. Usually if you put it in like as a topic, it's really just interesting that like I think they have like almost like they have very good marketing.
Yeah, that was just
law backing. Essentially.
That could also, I was gonna say that could also just be their organization has good. I don't know what the terms are. Good SEO or whatever the fuck it is that gets you highly searchable.
Yeah.
So they could like just work their website in a way that I know it gets shoved to the front or something.
So the sociologist Stephen A. Kent views the Church of Scientology as a quote a multifaceted transitional corporation, only one element of which is religious.
Oh.
End quote. In his history of the Church of Scientology, the scholar Hugh Urban, describes Scientology as a quote huge, complex, and multifaceted movement. End quote. So the government inquiries, international parliamentary bodies, scholars, law lords, and numerous.
That's gotta rip.
Brother,
that sounds like a character in
my
that
next
Loki
search
show.
was law lords.
Yeah.
So we're gonna find out what law lords.
No,
are
I
next.
think that in that show, in the Disney Plus show Loki, when he fucking disrupted the time,
he's a law lord.
The law lord chased him.
But Scientology, both as a and
Dude,
numerous.
life is so retarded sometimes.
So all of these things, so government inquiries, international parliamentary bodies, scholars, law lords, and numerous superior court judgments describe Scientology both as a dangerous cult and as a manipulative profit-making business.
Mm-hmm.
These institutions and scholars state that Scientology is not a religion.
Yeah.
Scientology, and this is from the wiki. I'm just saying. Like this is the part where the reason the South Park episode had to do that way was even though they had the song dum da dum 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 like behind it, and they had to put down like this is actually what they believe. Like we want you to know because you can't like anything that you put out there that's not actual fact. Like if you're saying like Scientology is a cult, that's wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm just quoting these.
These are all my opinions.
No, these are other people's opinions I'm sharing.
Oh,
but
when I'm saying when I talk,
this
I'm
is
just
not for educational purposes.
Yeah,
this is for juice box sipping.
And you know you're a good organization whenever anyone talks about you, they have to be really litigious and scared.
And that's what I'm saying is like normally, you know how like people go like, oh, we're gonna get kicked off of this episode. Like literally, they go after everybody.
Yeah.
If we put Scientology in the name of this in the title of this episode, they could possibly find us and send us like a fucking bullshit letter. or something.
By the way,
and I don't have the fucking. Come at me, guys.
Yeah.
If you can find anything to take from me, take it.
Actually, no, it would actually rule for us to get sued because it would help the pod, and then it's like, you guys don't have anything to steal from us.
Yeah, literally, yeah, we got nothing to lose.
Dude, I come back, I don't have my PlayStation, I go, God damn it, Elron!
Well, the thing is, like, that my Switch is missing. They delete my Fortnite account.
How often you do that, by the way? Because you got a million thoughts and you're so ready to talk. I can't tell you how many times you'll be 4 words into your sentence and then you finally process my joke and then you start giggling. It makes me laugh every time. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
But they have so like they have this like ability to go after people, blackmail people. Like that's what the suspicions and some of the accusations have been in the
So you
past.
telling me Israel peeps game pretty hard?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what are you guys doing? Wait a minute, you did all that and you didn't even get them to fuck a kid?
Damn.
You guys are good.
Hold on a second. You still got the tip of your penis? What the hell?
Can you imagine the Scientologists in Israel and the Zionists meet up and they're just peeping game and the Scientologists is like, yeah, we figured you don't have to keep making them fuck kids, and they're like, it's kind of our thing, man.
Yeah.
We kind of like it's like we have all these like sort of institutions established. It's kind of a fucking thing.
You know, it's tradition.
It's tradition.
But
anyway, Mazel Tov.
But yeah, they
jokes.
But they have this they have this weird thing where that's what is Tom Cruise is one of like the highest.
He's out
dudes.
though, isn't he?
No, he's still in there. What do you mean?
I thought Tom Cruise left Scientology because like they ruined his relationship with what's her face,
Katie
Holmes, and he finally got fed up. He's still in?
I believe so. I think he may have he's not like as super duper outspoken as he was in the past, but I think he's still an active member. That's the thing with Scientology is it's not necessarily one of those things that you can leave. I was talking about the 3 different types of people that come from Scientology, in my opinion, are people that are not super familiar or only know like the kind of cursory shit or what's been reported about Scientology and like say like, oh, that's fucking crazy. What?
Sorry, Grok 3 says he's still associated.
Yeah,
that's a bummer.
I think what he did was so when there's also a big conspiracy with the head of Scientology right now, Evan Miscavige. I can't remember if that's his name or not. Hold on. But the Miscavige wife.
Good name, by the way.
Yeah, Miscavige.
Yeah, that's fun. He should definitely start a 90s rock band.
Yeah, there's the Church of Scientology. I'm trying to find the actual but the Scientology leader, his wife has been missing for that's it, like literally the second thing. Shelley Miscavige, David Miscavige's wife, is
been missing?
She's been missing. So hold on. So no, Shelley Miscavige has not been seen publicly since August of 2007.
Whoa!
When she was escorted to her father's funeral. She is considered to be living in relative obscurity in Scientology. While there have been reports of speculations about her whereabouts, there is no public confirmation of her status and current location. So, essentially, that has been kind of like a thing. You know, like how every once in a while, people go you ever notice that? You haven't seen his wife in a long time.
Yeah.
You see him all the time, and you used to see her.
Does he get asked about it? And he's like,
yeah,
she's fine.
Yeah, he kind of skirts it. It's been a thing. Again, if you're bringing up any speculation about it or anything like that, if you were saying, where is she? I'm just asking questions, blah, 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 all this other shit, is you could also be handed some paperwork and shit. So it's just a thing.
That's crazy.
So that's the thing is there's been some of the accusations have been just abuse, not physical necessarily, but in some cases, there have been allegations of kidnapping. Also, what's detainment is essentially basically keeping people hostage, in certain things, or that's the things where people start talking about it being a cult.
Yeah.
Of how people are held against their will.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that they do the basics of cult stuff. Where when you're in there, you all your money goes to them, and when you leave, they discredit you and they alienate you, and it's dude, I'm not trying to call you guys a cult. Just stop doing all the cult stuff.
And that's believed why certain people are in that organization is that they think that they may have something on them. A lot of times, in the case of John Travolta, Tom Cruise, both people are alleging that they are secretly closeted gay men.
What?
Yeah, you never heard this?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying this is what's being reported. I'm not saying this.
I am outraged to hear that. Guys, zoom in on me. I'm shocked. Andy Malfrina. Dude, it's so...
Didn't John Travolta have a masseuse thing not too long ago, too? He had a thing where
dude, it's so funny to be closeted gay in 2025.
Yeah.
It's dude, no, it's one, no one cares. Two, it gives you it gives you points.
That makes me wonder what possibly they may have on either John Travolta and or Tom Cruise. If both of them, either maybe they're just thinking like, hey, look, it could be for some people, maybe the Hollywood elite.
Yeah.
Just because they can afford it. Maybe it's just like a flex. And they're also like, I don't like any other like real religion. Like any, for lack of a better term, real religions. Older religions.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you can trace the invention of a religion back to like your parents' generation, or even in this case, like that was probably a couple years. Like if you're older than your religion, I feel like, do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm pretty sure John Travolta is probably older than
he's got to be at least as old as it. I'll say this, technically speaking, when it starts, it technically doesn't. But yeah, if you're trying to create a religion, being ancient really does help. But I guess for me, it would be more like, well, what are you guys selling? And the Scientology shit.
Damn, he's as old as it.
Yeah.
He was. Holy shit. He's born. This is crazy. Yeah. He's born on February 18th, 1954. And Scientology is founded February of 1954.
That's crazy. I guess technically there's no time frame on figuring out ancient knowledge.
He got all the info about Scientology. He's like, when was it invented? Good year. I like it.
Actually, there could be a possibility. He's like, same year, same month. That means something. Trust me, dude. Dippy Hollywood people are trying to find symbolism.
Like he's got his crystals out. He's like, everything's pointing to this. Like,
by the way, speaking of symbolism or something, or fucking, we live in a simulation. Remind me on Drag the Lake. I have music-related symbolism and simulation shit that was actually kind of nuts.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I want to save it for that pod. I just remembered that.
There's no way I'm going to remember that. I'll write it in my notes.
You don't have to. I'll remember it. We're going to do that in 20 minutes. I'll remember it.
But yeah, there's a...
I think, like, yeah, Dippy Hollywood people are looking for that kind of shit. That's so interesting. But to be fair to them... Whenever you figure out the ancient knowledge of the universe, that's when you figure it out. So if you figured it out in 1954, it's just, it took a while, but this is when we got the ancient knowledge of the universe.
And look, not everybody's going to, Jehovah's Witnesses started in like 1870. So like, you know what I mean? Like you can trace it back. Like again, the country's older than the religion that, and by the way, I asked this of a South African recently when I was doing stand-up. I was like,
wait, what?
I said something about Jehovah's Witnesses, and I was like, I found out a lady is from South Africa.
Oh, okay.
I was like, you guys got those there? And she's like, yep. And I was like, man, they're just anywhere there's fucking doors, aren't they?
Well, that's
literally anywhere there's a fucking door, they'll goddamn be there.
Well, that's like, how do I want to approach this one? That's why Jewish people are so smart. Can I be honest?
I like how much you're like we're sitting here with the Scientologists going like, hey, look, we're just quoting other people. But you're like, also, just in case, I want to tiptoe around this one too.
No. Can I be real with Jewish people? And it's gonna be a compliment. Don't worry, you'll still have a career. It's gonna be a compliment.
I'm not worried about
No, this whole like Jews run everything shit. It's like, yeah, obviously there's a bunch of Jews in higher up positions. And it's like, after a certain point, like, I always see Jewish people being like, well, what does that even mean? I go, take the fucking compliment.
It's like
you guys work harder than us.
Like
you fucking, it's, in wrestling terms, you reach for the brass ring more than us. You just fucking do. Because Christians, they go over to every goddamn country, and they're just like, you should fucking do this. You should fucking do this. And then Jews go to every country, and they're just like, yeah, what if we just have all the highest paying jobs and like fucking kill it?
Jewish
you know what I mean? Like it's getting to a point where it's just like, guys, take the compliment.
I would say this, like I feel like that Jewish people may be one of the only religions that like actually might have the real shit, or let's just say I would say they're the most confident in it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, they'll argue the most about it. That's what the Talmud is.
Well,
have you ever heard of that?
I think they have a point. Because if you think about it, every other religion, it's almost like one of those things of like, if you're great, you don't have to tell anybody you're great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but every other religion, literally, they go like, we're going to go to these crazy remote locations because we're going to convert these people. We're going to teach them what God is,
and
then we're going to tell them we got the right one. Like, whereas Jewish people don't do that. Jewish people do not like you could see a Jehovah's Witness booth where they're handing out pamphlets.
Jewish people,
you could see a Scientology thing. Come over, test your thetans. You can go to they have
Jewish
representatives.
people are like the Navy SEALs. The way you can get in there, anyone can be in the fucking infantry, or anyone can be in the fucking whatever the fuck group. You know what I mean? But Jewish people are like black ops with their shit. And I'm also not trying to I'm into a lot of conspiracy thing. I don't think it's this big Jewish conspiracy. I'm not gonna sit here and be like the elders bring up the elders of Zion and shit. I'm not saying there's this big Jewish conspiracy, but Jews do need to get props for the fact that they over the years have fucking balled out and managed to get into higher up positions in a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, you were asking about law lords earlier. Officially, law lords appeal in lords of appeal in ordinary. That's the name.
What?
They were judges appointed to the British House of Lords to exercise its judicial functions, acting on the highest court of appeal in the UK. They were a committee of the House of Lords, and their role was to hear appeals from lower courts. So they were even going Scientology's bullshit.
You guys are fucking gay.
L. Ron Hubbard claimed that Scientology was a, quote, all denominational, and members of Scientology.
Does that mean everyone can give him money?
Yeah, he's literally. He basically gave the Jordan defense of Catholics.
Republicans buy shoes too.
Yeah, Catholics buy shoes. Republicans buy shoes. Essentially, he was saying I'll take anybody.
Because Catholics need thetans too.
He's it's just imagine Buddhism, but way more restrictive and also not more expensive.
Not good.
Way more expensive.
Doesn't he also have that one quote where he was fucking, this is definitely not real, you fucking idiots?
Well,
he has that one famous quote, which is the biggest proof that he made it up.
So I think this is the thing he's trying to do, they make you sign a fucking contract when you join the religion.
I feel like every major religion does that, right?
No, literally none of them, actually. Hey, Andy. I know you're a little bit mistaken because it was, instead of it being all of them, it's actually none of them.
Yeah, Andy, just so you know, you're off by every number you thought of.
By every single one.
Every
single one of them. So, scholar of religion Donald Westbrook encountered members who also practiced Judaism, Christianity, Buddhism, and the Nation of Islam, which, by the way, no. The Islamic people are not going to be you can be a Scientologist too. But also, you still have to pray to our shit every other second or whatever.
Well, the Nation, that's what I learned reading.
Mecca, what do you have to...
Wait, was... Fuck, I always forget. Yeah. Malcolm X was Nation of Islam. I was listening to the Malcolm X autobiography. The Nation of Islam is everyone can be in here. Yeah. We got to do our shit.
One was a Baptist minister too, by the way. So
really?
So this almost makes it feel like it really doesn't and this is the opinions that I'm sharing of what I've heard, essentially, is that most people believe that it is a religion mainly for the tax purposes, basically for the financial purposes, because
I believe that
they're accepting of all these other religions, but they do hold you to a contract. They have been accused of threatening blackmail, intimidation.
They've threatened blackmails.
We'll
blackmail you, blackmail.
And he's just no.
Blackmailing the blackmail.
But there's also as far as the intimidation shit, where people are there's a show on, I believe it's A&E, that it's Leah Remini.
Yeah.
Former Scientologist.
She did that show to try to Leah remedy the situation. Thank you.
You got there before
and
me.
Subscribe.
Dad,
I thought of that.
The podcast off.
Dad just came in his pants.
I actually am listening in the garage with the car running and my windows down.
No. If you've met George, that was the most proud he's ever been of me.
But it's almost seems like it's a club. So like that's why I feel like so many celebrities are a part of it is because they offer you protection,
Yeah.
religious protection and exemption. So like I think there's like when you need to, it's almost like
Actually,
I think the best way to put it is this is the Cayman offshore bank account of religions.
dude,
Like
it
of
makes
this thing of like wherever you need to like just kind of like make
no,
things
it makes
better.
sense because like if you imagine if Tom Cruise is still because we all
Cayman
joke,
Islands.
but there's still like fucking 8 celebrities who are still hung up on being found out that they're gay.
Yeah.
Because they like they were big in the times when that was a fucking big deal. But can you imagine like you're Tom Cruise or you're John Travolta? You don't want to be found out as gay. Now you pair up with the most litigious organization in America. So it's like people will make jokes, but they won't fucking touch that like in any serious way with a 10-foot pole.
As opposed, so like where like people would go to somebody with like if it's almost like having the support, or it's like the same support group, but it's meant for people that want protection. It's like also like a very much like kind of a legal mob version
It's
of
a
it.
really
as well.
interesting perspective.
Because you have the thing where like if you're a Christian and you go through a trying time, you're going to pray about it.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go talk with your minister. You're going to go to confession. You're going to do something else. This is the same thing, but like when it's like, I'm really troubled by people calling me gay, and they're like, well, what if we sue the fuck out of them?
What if we all
And they're like, thank you for your support.
what if we all got in a circle and sued about it?
Yeah. Yeah, let's sue. Let us sue.
Let wait. They're like, let us sue. Under section 9.3 of the California Legal Code.
That is restricted.
You'll be hearing from my lawyer.
You shall be held liable.
Cease and desist immediately.
It's not a thing where like you're gonna get the moral support. You're literally getting the backing of their legal team and also they're gonna be like, he's not fucking gay, and you better stop saying it.
He's not gay. You're fucking gay.
We're gonna blackmail you.
You're fucking gay.
We're gonna get your kids taken away from you. You know what I mean? Like they have all aspects. So it's like they're like, you want a little bit of protection here in Hollywood? Maybe you just you come over to Scientology and we make sure you're okay. You know what I mean? Because like
I just realized the name of the episode's going to be Scientology Is So Cool. Please don't sue us.
Got him with the title. And
Dodge that bullet.
Here, hold on. Here's a thumbnail.
It's just us going.
Yeah, I don't think there's a level of like it seems like it's just a good. They're like the wolf in Pulp Fiction. Like they will protect if you are loyal to them and you're up on your payments.
Yeah.
Then they're like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're like an assistant minister in this shit, and they're
Yeah.
like, what? Like Tom Cruise has like he got medals. Have you ever seen Tom Cruise's medals?
No.
Holy shit. Tom Cruise got medals from Scientology. By the way, Andy, can you ask me how many religions give medals? Do you want to take a guess at how many other religions?
Okay, I know we
Take
did
your time.
No,
Really mull it over. I'm gonna
I
type
know
this
we
in.
did this joke already. I know we did this joke already, but I got to imagine.
Andy, this isn't a joke.
No. I got to imagine all the major religions have to give you medals.
As a matter of fact, it's actually 0.
What?
Yep, it's another. You got it wrong again.
You're telling me it's none of them?
Just to cut hair off on this one as well. It's 0 other ones give medals.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Hold on, Tom Cruise's
Dude, if you don't
Scientology medals.
Here's my problem. Like I was saying before, I'm a big fan of a lot of things about capitalism. I'd be more of a fan of having some free market laissez-faire capitalism because I think that's how you avoid the bad shit. But in this modern like crony capitalist society, it is prime and ready for someone with a god complex to just be like, because it's like you can succeed so well in this country if you just have a goal you want to just stay locked into, and you do not care how many people get lost in the wake.
Yeah, I think it's a level. Take it easy, Stanley. I'm trying to find.
So funny.
clear picture. There we go. That's David Miscavige here, and Tom Cruise. Let me go to the website, see if it shows up a bigger picture. There it is. There's our boys. Yeah,
Boys
that's
in
him.
blue.
It's I think this is the Freedom Medal that he's receiving. So Tom Cruise left with David Miscavige, who was born in
Bucks
Bucks County.
County.
Oh, this is from the Philadelphia Inquirer.
He's a Philly boy.
So they're just showing this because of the fact that it happened in Philly. He's from Philly. Okay, great. Yep. I don't want to. All right.
It's so funny. I love every news site. They're like, "Do you want all of our articles for 8 cents?" And you're like, "Not even 8 cents. Do I want
It
that?"
doesn't matter. Yeah, there it is. Freedom Medal of Valor, 2004 is what he won.
That rules. Also, don't they? I watched a documentary. I think I watched that Going Clear doc forever ago. Don't they make it a point that they really butter up their celebrities?
Right.
So, like Tom Cruise, I feel like Tom Cruise's version of Scientology is like when you go to North Korea and they bring you to the fake stores and shit.
Yeah.
So, like, Tom Cruise is probably, like, he's probably having a chill fucking time being a Scientologist.
He's loving it because
Yeah.
he doesn't have, like, the thing is, his checks are still clearing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so he has paid his celebrity.
Well, he probably gets a huge benefit from being in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His celebrity is huge. Like, for them. Like, that's huge. There's eyes on the religion.
Yeah.
That's popularity, all this other. They really are running it like a business, but
Yeah.
it has its religious exemptions. Stanley, come on, we're talking. They're gonna sue you.
Cover up your big fat cat dick.
Yeah, here, put the juice box there. Speaking of juice,
I might need another apple.
I'm sorry, but
Oh my god! All right, now you meow like a little fucking bitch.
don't you know? So etymology. Do you want to know anything about the etymology or the debates on classic? Well,
What's the? Well, no. We got a couple minutes left. I am curious. What's the? Because the process of getting you into Scientology is very funny.
Like
They do like those fake lie detector tests or
the
something.
Thetan, yeah. So the Thetan test. How to enter Scientology. This was a fun thing that I found. There's so how do people get into Scientology? Usually by word of mouth, often by reading a book, seeing promotional materials, or visiting the Church of Scientology. Sometimes one becomes interested by meeting a Scientologist and sensing that person has, quote, something. A positive attitude?
Oh, is this guy vulnerable?
A positive attitude towards life? Certainly. Self-confidence and happiness, which they too would like to have.
Jerry, I've noticed you're fucking retarded.
Fundamentally, people...
Would you like to come to the church?
Fundamentally, people get into Scientology because they want to improve something in their lives, or because they wish to help others improve and thus create a better civilization.
They just go to the church. They're like, "Hey, I only work 8 hours a day and I keep all my money. Is there any way I could do like more work for you guys and then give it to you?"
How does it work? This is from Scientology.org. The Scientology religion provides answers to many questions about life and death, and it encompasses. That's Jesus Christ. I'm reading it. I've never read that word before.
Dude,
I've never read the word.
I hit with those every once in a while. A word where you go, I realized I've never seen that written out.
Hold on a second. I just need a.
Yeah. Yeah. Before you try to sue us, guys,
It encompasses.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
I've had 2 juice boxes on this podcast.
I had strawberry banana.
We should do that more often.
Oh, auditing session. That's what it is. Okay, so what is auditing? There we go.
Let's do that. We do an episode about Sandy Hook wearing pinwheel hats.
Same. Where's the other shooter?
Yeah, I'm just saying. All those. Where are the birth certificates?
Although the purely philosophical aspects of L. Ron Hubbard's works are sufficient in themselves to apply in everyday existence, only auditing provides a precise route by which individuals may travel to higher states of spiritual awareness. Mm-hmm. The goal of auditing is to restore beingness and ability. This accomplished by 1, helping individuals rid themselves of spiritual disabilities, 2, increasing spiritual abilities. Obviously, both are necessary and for an individual to achieve his full spiritual potential. Auditing then deletes life's painful experiences and addresses and improves one's ability to confront and handle the factors in life. So what happens is you sit there, you start with the confessional, essentially, and then they go, well, that's some juicy stuff. We'll keep that secret for you.
Oh.
And then that's kind of where it starts. So like they do a bunch of sessions where you're exposing a lot of your biggest fears, your worst regrets, all this other stuff, and they kind of just take all that information in. If you decide to join, they can keep that secret, or they will use that information to
and that's why
damage you
need
if you leave.
And that's why you need
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's why you need to start a podcast where you tell in detail how you jerk off, because then no one can have secrets on you.
Brother, that's what I'm
Dude,
saying.
I just realized.
They're like what one of the biggest things is they'll try to make you look gay. They'll like expose your tax shit.
Too late, idiots.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like one of those things. What's the worst thing you're going to do? You're going to say, I suck my cats off? Well, guess what?
Well, no, that's like that's why I'm like, I think we're good people to be doing hard work like this. The tough work, the real work. Sip your juice box.
You're right, Andy.
No, but for real, it's like there's so much. Dude, I've joked about this I read in all of my I've read in so many of my like conspiracy books. The thing that pops up so often is there's someone who's gay who's trying to not be exposed for being gay.
Yes.
And it's all like, and I'm not just coming at gay people.
Brother, every religion.
Coming on, gay people. I'm secretly gay too. But no, it encompasses the idea of like having secrets.
Yeah.
So it's like the people like us. That's why it's honestly great to do a podcast like this, because me and Pat, like, I don't think. Like, obviously, there's a handful of things, but, like, via text message or stuff, or, like, we don't talk differently. There's, like, some jokes we go a little harder than we would if it was recorded, but, like, it's, like, embarrassing how much we're not different in person.
It's so funny that we're like, there's nothing you have, and then we're like, you could probably get something from our private messages. We're like just giving it to them. We're like, some DMs, but honestly, I think most people's DMs are like, that's the last frontier of like, that's what you're going to be embarrassed by.
My whole thing
financials are a wreck.
No, my whole thing is just like, I say the F slur a little more in text because I'm not worried about YouTube's not going to take my text messages down, you know? Yeah. But I'm like, if like my texts come out, I'm not going to sit there and go like, no, I don't talk like that.
But that's the point. Is like exactly. You can't go like, you're going to do that thing where you're like, but I don't say it out loud.
Yeah, if you saw my text messages, you'd all be like, that's how we assume Andy texts his friends.
Yeah, yeah. It would be one of those things. So for the most part,
I'm sorry to cut you off again.
No.
Even if they got a video of me jerking off, it would be embarrassing, but it would still just be like, okay. I mean, I'm not going to stop podcasting.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks, but, like, it's not like my image is buttoned up fucking well-to-do dude. It's like, no, my image is fucking fat retarded guy.
Yeah, we don't have a lot to, like,
That's why we have to expose the deep state.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're welcome, everybody. We're doing the hard work you guys should be doing.
You're welcome. We're going to save the world.
Yeah. Please don't sue us.
Please don't sue us. Scientology's true, and it's super awesome.
That's such a cool... Yeah. Something like that. Something along the lines of, like, Scientology is awesome. Please don't sue us. It's one of the best... Yeah. But I think that's... Overall, like I said, there's plenty of resources that you can go to if you're watching this show, most likely you would really enjoy, and you haven't seen it already, South Park's take on this, as well as Mormonism is really interesting as well.
Yeah. Mormonism's one everyone forgets. You're like, no, that was like recent.
Jehovah's Witnesses are another one of those ones that are like, it's surprising. I don't think a lot of people know the actual like damaging part of
no, because they have so many silly ones.
Yeah,
they're like
the door knocking guys. Oh, those weirdos! Don't you just hate that? But it's also like there is some.
It's pretty dark, right?
It's not necessarily at the level of Scientology, but it's not far off.
Yeah,
like there's no contract or anything or blackmail necessarily. But like as far as like hunting people, like they come to people's houses to essentially like, if they're not showing up, instead of
to like bully them and intimidate them.
It seems like Jehovah's Witnesses, from what I've observed, is been is kind of a damaging shame, like way more shame driven religion than most other religions. Every religion has that level of shame of, well, I was brought up this way. My parents do this. My whatever. Like there's always that kind of level of like, yeah, but you're supposed to. And like Jehovah's Witnesses, like actively they will come to your place and it's, when you are in need, they disfellowship you. They kick you out. They essentially excommunicate you.
Yeah.
So like the people that have strayed furthest from the path are people that they go, you're dead weight, get out.
Yeah.
So it does not have that community feel. And then anybody that is a practicing Jehovah's Witness is not supposed to talk to you.
Yeah.
And like morally, you're supposed to even kind of keep that no matter what. If you know this person's a Jehovah's Witness, like you kind of have to try to, if you are meant to ever return, if you're trying to get back in, which I don't know why you would want to, after this religion tells your family you can't talk to them, why you would want to get back in, except for if you say I quit as opposed to being fired, you are allowed to talk to them. You're basically inactive.
That's why I think
So like there's a lot of stuff, like there's a lot of, they just took Christianity and melded it with Scientology before it was even invented.
Well, I was gonna say that's why I think Christianity and Islam are the most popular ones, because it's like they're the ones the most willing to adapt.
Yeah.
And like give you wiggle room.
And you'll be accept, like you can just go and start being a Christian and they'll help you be a Christian. Whereas like Jehovah's Witnesses, you have to study, you have to do all this other stuff, and then you have to get baptized, like all the shit. Because I told Dom, this is long story short, my wife, I don't know if you want to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses or what were we going to talk about next?
I do want to talk about the Vatican specifically.
Oh yeah, the Vatican archives.
But since you're talking about it now, and you definitely know a lot about it.
I have a lot of personal experiences.
Yeah, so I want to. The Vatican can wait.
Yeah.
You hear that? The Vatican?
Yeah. Well, we skipped a week. We'll give an extra week.
Yeah.
Hey, Vatican,
So,
pump the brakes a little, okay?
Well, also too, I mean, aliens lasted more than a month. There's a couple religions.
I mean, yeah, there's
we could do
a.
I do want to get to the Vatican specifically at some point, but I think since we're talking about it, let's do Jehovah's Witnesses next week.
Yeah, I think because there's a thing where like I'm not going to sit here and I don't. We talked about this at the beginning of Religious Month. How
many juice boxes have you had?
Just the one, sir.
Just one
like
apple.
6 hours.
Just one apple.
I had like one 6
I
hours.
just had one apple, officer.
I don't really care for any organized religion necessarily. Practicing religions is whatever, but like when it becomes like so ingrained in your life, or a belief like that, like
I'm similar. I'm a big fan of the teachings, but
the teachings is fine. Yeah, it's just
a lot of them, their teachings are really chill.
Yeah.
It's when you start.
It's when
you start having like a secret.
And the interpretations start coming in, where like some people can read the Quran and be like, yeah, it meant we got to throw gay people off the roof, and then other people are like, no, just pray a lot, and you're like,
it's the part. It's why things become a cult. One of the, I believe one of the aspects that makes something a cult is having secret knowledge. And a lot of the when religion goes bad is when they start having like the group that is like more holier than the rest of you, and they start acting like they have special powers or special knowledge that you could never possibly understand. That's when you get an organization
you can never get to the top.
Yeah, so that's when it starts going bad. But if it's literally just like, yeah, you should read the Bible, read the Quran. It's got some good stuff in there.
Yeah,
that's when it's chill.
With like something like. Oh, Verizon. I was like, who the fuck is... I didn't realize that fucking notification. But there's a weird thing with like Buddhism. You're not really trying to like, again, you're not, it's not like you're not trying to, what's it called? Impress somebody. You're not trying to make an entity happy.
Yeah.
It's about your happiness. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And as opposed to like every other religion, it seems like you're trying to meet an expectation of and what I've heard, I think the description that I think is best described the difference between a cult and a religion is when a cult's leader passes away and the followers still continue to practice it. Mm-hmm. That's a religion.
That's a good.
That's
one.
Really the only difference is the religion can be built anyway. Like Christianity, Catholicism, certain other places, like when you go to church, you're expected to give 10% of your tithings or whatever of your monthlies. You got a little bill. And then other ones, it's more about your devotion of your time. Whereas like Muslim people you got to pray 160 times a day or some shit like that.
Yeah.
This particular direction. It's just considerable. It's being considerable or considerate, and it's also being mindful.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really that. It's about you are being a mindful person, and it's discipline, mindfulness, and just good behavior. But it's when people's perceptions or people's interpretations take over and they go like, well, I'm going to just rewrite the whole book, but I'll change a couple things because I don't like that.
Yeah, it's that fucking King what's his face when he's like, I want to get a divorce, let's change it. Yeah, but you were talking about it's important to have the discipline, but often in Buddhist countries, because it's a lot of Asian countries, it's discipline.
Yeah, it's all discipline. So
thank you for joining us.
Yeah. So we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Knock knock.